G and mana fee. So, and you get draw 3 cards. So I think that value is a lot higher. If you just got the Nest Ball and Sealstone.
Why would you say it out loud?
Mana fee prize.
And your prize mana fee, which is pretty bad.
Camera got tilted.
Discard 1.
Your dad shouldn't have benched Iron Hands.
Discard 1.
My dad gets to learn also.
Most of the game is me like asking, "Hey, can I take this back?"
Just
Yeah, it was good. Burn the 2 cards. You kind of have to.
Feel free to let him know like all my mistakes too, because then this way he knows how to like punish it, I guess.
Yeah. So.
Like,
let's go back.
he usually
So
knows when I make a mistake.
Okay, so your goal of the turn is to Greninja and then knock out 2 1 prizes. Probably the Pidgey Charmander. So if you bench the Iron Hands, he can go Rare Candy Zard, Counter Catcher, kill for 2 prizes. But if you left the Iron Hands off from play, then he can only kill 1 prizer. So you go up 2 and he'd still be at 5.
Got it.
And you have to use Zard to kill something. Then you can just next turn bench Chien-Pao and kill it. And then you'd go to 2. And then if he kills the Chien-Pao back, then he's at 3. So he's on auto already. So it's really bad for him. So that's why like benching Iron Hands is not very good, because it lets him take a 2 prize kill the next turn, which keeps him in the game still kind of, because he can go 2-2-2. If you have to like bench Iron Hands, Chien-Pao. So if you ever miss an attack, it's like really bad. But if you just left the Iron Hands, I think I don't know if it was prize, but if you have second Bidoof, you get second Bidoof, so you just prioritize drawing and setting up for the next turn if you whiff. And you did end up whiffing. But playing the Super Rod and the Canceling Clone were correct, because if he Buddy Poppins and doesn't get Mana Fee, then it's probably prized. And you're okay with burning a Rod, because the trade-off for hitting the Greninja on this turn is really high. So you just want to maximize the amount of cards you draw.
Yeah, Chien-Pao's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't have played this Ultra Ball. I would have just kept the Bidoof next turn Ultra Ball for the second Vivero, and then get 2 Viveros out.
Iono.
Yeah, so Tristan, if you had the if you had Rotom, then you'd have been able to see 3 extra cards, and then maybe you could have been able to get a Rare Candy, which would have been really good. Because you had the Ultra Ball for the Pidgeot, you had the other Zard. You were just missing the Rare Candy. So that's why it's important to draw these cards, like use Rotom to draw these cards, because the Zard doesn't really have any draw engine. Like, you don't have Vivero, you don't have like a Curlia. You really rely on Pidgeot. And so your only real draw is supporters or Rotom. So you really need to get Rotom down sometimes. Because now you're like off this, you're really hoping to draw Rare Candy, Zard. Rare Candy, Zard, Rare Candy. That's like if you, like the optimal 3 card. You need like for a really good hand, you need at least 2 cards, preferably 3, which is kind of hard off an Iona to 6 when you just put a Zard and an Ultra Ball to the bottom of your deck. And you only do 180 to him, because like that's just how Zard's damage works. Like, you're really dependent on what your opponent does, so it's like kind of annoying. Another thing, now you should, I think now that you've gotten a lot better, I think keeping track of your Ionos is very important. Less so in a deck like Zard, it's very important in a deck like Chien-Pao to keep track of what's in your bottom deck. Because, let's say my opponent plays Iono, and like 3 superior energy retrievals go to the bottom of my deck. I have to be able to play something that lets me shuffle my deck, so I can try to draw back into those superior energy retrievals. But if someone Ionos me and 3 Battle VIP passes go to the bottom of my deck, I want to try not to play a card that shuffles my deck, so I don't have to draw back into those cards. less important for Zard because you're just using Pidgeot. But for a deck like Chien-Pao, where you're sequencing a lot, you're drawing a lot of cards with Greninja and Barrel, it's very important that you know what's at the bottom of your deck off the Ionos. Yeah, see, your hand is not very good. And you weren't able to apply pressure with Zard, so his Greninja is still alive to kill things. So you have Nest Ball. So yeah, so now you got the Rotom with 1 turn too late.
Is that run timeout? How about this one?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 3. No, it's not.
Oh.
Okay, go. 82 is closer to. Going to. 3 later. Okay. I read.
Backs. Okay. Let's see what you do. Right, the backs. Prime Catcher.
No, I'm not helping you with that. You figure it out yourself.
Okay, so with Chien-Pao, you usually want to have like not live cards in your hand because then you have to keep them in your hand. Like I always tell people, like one of your worst hands is having like 2+ superiors in your hand because like it's really awkward to burn them to draw with the barrel. So like this prime catcher, you're not gonna use it this turn, so it's gonna sit in your hand and that's gonna clog up your barrel turn, your barrel draw. So what you could have done instead was you have a superior in your hand, another Irida, and water energy rare candy. So you could Irida for the backs, rare candy the backs, and then you as your item you can get like a buddy poffin and then just burn that item out of your deck. It's like thinning.
So just evolve the Frigibax to Baxcalibur, pretty much to burn it, right?
In your hand already, but the superior would have been awkward because you had to discard like a water energy and maybe an Irida or this Nest Ball. But instead, now if you get like some card that's superior rate, Ninja, and then you barrel for 4 while you have 1 Irida in your hand, which is pretty good.
Okay.
You see the most amount of cards that way.
I see. I think my reasoning was I was afraid of him getting a lot of value out of his like. Oh wait, no, never mind. What's in the active right now? I can't tell.
Chien-Pao.
It's a Charmander and Chien-Pao.
Okay, never mind. I see.
Yeah, so now you superior with the Irida, and so you could have left it in your hand, so you guaranteed a superior on your next turn.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and then you could have had 1 more energy in place. So what you could have done was you could have had 4 waters and a lightning because you superior away 1. So you could have done like 2 to retreat, 2 here, and then left the lightning on the Iron Hands, which would have been pretty good to guarantee the lightning attachment.
Going to.
Oh, you got it anyways. You usually just throw this energy on like anything with 2 retreats so it doesn't get stalled.
Okay.
But you have Prime Catcher in your hand. I guess it's different now, but I still would probably attach the energy because you want to maximize the amount of cards you draw.
Discard 1 with Greninja.
No, you didn't use Greninja. Yeah, then that makes a bit more sense. If you didn't use Greninja, then leaving a water energy.
I think I like lost track of like what order to do stuff in.
Prime Catcher.
Okay, this Prime Catcher is not very good.
Yeah, I realized it afterwards. I was like, why did I even Prime Catcher? It doesn't really do much. Because that card's like really good, but then I didn't get any value out of it, really.
You just.
You did, yeah. You could just retreat. It's not like like your prize mapping is probably like retreat, ninja kill for 2 prizes, Iron Hands kill like Pidgeot or like Illuminion, and then just kill something else with Chien-Pao. So like this Prime Catcher is pretty important actually because he can Rad Zard at some point, and that's really bad for you.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. I think.
Yeah, that's what happened.
3.
Also, if you're playing Chien-Pao, you always just Pokestop. Like unless you're super afraid of discarding a back Excalibur, you just Pokestop every time.
Okay.
Because it's like at some point in the game, Pokestop is just draw 3 item cards.
This was a Yasuo. This was wrong.
Stop.
Why? What are you trying to get? Say.
Super Rod Counter Catcher.
Okay. Why didn't you necessarily?
Develop.
This one. Show me. Let me see the ones you got wrong. 2 prizes.
It's really awkward that you couldn't get. Okay, so if you're going to Pokestop, which I think is fine because you really need to draw Counter Catcher here, what you should do is you should Pokestop before the Arven, because that lets you hit. If you hit the rare candy, then you could Arven for the Counter Catcher, or if you hit the Counter Catcher, you can Arven for the rare candy. So it gives you more options, as opposed to if you Arven immediately, then you have to hit the Counter Catcher with the Pokestop. So it gives you a bit more lenience of what you can hit. Like if you Pokestop pre-Arven, because then you can hit either one of your 4 rare candies or one of your counter catchers. So it gives you 5 outs as opposed to 1 out off the Pokestop after the Arven, right?
Attack.
Yeah, I think you could just promote the Chien-Pao and just obliterate his active. Because you have everything you need. I don't know why we put it for backs.
This guy and
Hold on, I'm thinking. Okay, no, I'm not gonna use it.
Well, I guess you can.
no.
I guess. Well, what? Why are we not just killing the active? I mean, I was about to say, like, this is fine, because you can go kill the Charmeleon and then put 90 on the Rotom and then hands for 3, but then you use your Prime Catcher already. Sure.
16.
Wasted Prime Catcher.
And
How many Chien-Paos do you have played? 2.
So you're debating on the boss.
I'll kill Chien-Pao.
are you sure?
Yes.
I have.
I think killing the Chien-Pao is correct.
Which ones I could get?
There's 2 energies on it.
This I.
Yeah.
This guy is.
I think that's what you did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did this already.
I mean,
Yeah, so you have Ultra Ball in your hand. I would probably, if you do have, I don't know what's in your prizes, but if you have another Pidgey, I'd Ultra Ball for the Pidgey.
The Pidgey's in the prize.
Okay,
then
then
you're-
yeah.
This
I
prize.
don't have it.
Yeah, he's telling me it's prize at this time.
I draw.
What do you mean it's
How many cards do I have here? Oh shoot, I went deck out. Another superior energy retrieval. Two more on him. I actually don't know if that's a mistake.
I would just not put the energy. I would just have not played the superior. I would burn the rest of the cards, but actually, you have such a low deck. I would just not play the superior. So you're committing so many energies into play. You have to discard 4 of these, and then you put all your leftover energies on your thing. So if he just goes counter catcher knockout with Radzard, you have like no energies in play, which is really bad. So I'd rather just hold it because you're gonna kill this. You have a lot of stuff on your board that can kill this Zard. You can Greninja it, or you can use Baxcalibur's attack for it because it's weak to water.
Oh yeah.
So you can just hold the superior and then kill him the next turn because you have 2 cards left in your deck and you have like 5 in your hand and like a Pokestop in play. So you're guaranteed to draw back into the entirety of your deck. Actually, yeah, you're guaranteed to draw back into the entirety of your deck.
Yeah, so I don't need to be afraid of like the cards being.
Or actually, what you could have done was superiored, attached 1 to Greninja, 1 to Bax, left 2, so that if he ever, because yeah, so
those
okay,
are
what you should have done.
really hard parts for me. Like where I have to like split the energy to think about like
So what you should have done was when you played the superior, you got your 4 energies back. You should have attached 1 of them to Greninja, 1 of them to Baxcalibur, left the other 2 in your hand, so that if he goes for the line of counter catcher, kill the barrel, you have Shivery Chill for 2 energies for game instantly. And then if he goes the other way of just killing the Chien-Pao, then you just barrel and try to draw back those energies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
3 on hit. 2 crisis.
I lost.
So this is why the plain Luminion was bad here. You got like no value out of the Luminion. You have an Ultra Ball in your hand. If you had the Ultra Ball, you could have Ultra Balled for the Luminion if you didn't play it, then grab Iono, which would have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, you played on your first turn.
How?
1 you need. That's very good.
You need.
How many?
You have to tell me.
5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I have 9 energies that you can see already. All right. 5 here.
I'm gonna look on Discord.
No, look, 5. No, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 energies that you can see already. All right.
Yeah, that's a lot.
This guy.
Yes.
That's not correct. I would just kill the Baxcalibur. So, we saw a lot of energies, but I'm pretty sure he has a guaranteed 1 superior left. So then he can just kill with Chien-Pao back. He just needs 1 energy on Chien-Pao to kill you back.
Why?
This Iron Hands can't actually kill you, right?
So right.
All 4 superiors were in the discard.
Oh, they
He just
are?
needed 1 more energy. If I killed Baxcalibur,
Wall.
he just needed 1 more energy.
Okay, yeah, no, never mind that. Yeah, good job. I thought I saw only 2. Whoops. Yeah, no, that was a good play then. You got rid of all the energies. Yeah, if you needed to hold the superior last turn.
One.
You left your board too easily counterable.
yeah.
Yeah. If you, because like you have a barrel in play, so you just hold the
See if
superior.
you mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's all you need to do. That. Yeah, but pretty good, Tristan. You made a pretty good comeback. It's just on your first turn, you should have just gone, because your hand wasn't very good, you needed to get Arvin for Nest Ball for Rotom, and then Sealstone for the Poffin. That's better than having this Luminion in play, because it really doesn't do you that much. And it's way better late game when you can, like, Ultra Ball for Iono. Past that is pretty good. Other than so what I explained before, you want to Pokestop before the Arvin because it lets you see more cards that you possibly want. And it gives you more options to hit the counter catcher to kill like an Iron Hands or Chien-Pao when it was the turn after. But yeah. You know what I mean by when I say that, right, Tristan? Like when Pokestopping before the Arvin.
Because this way you get
So if
which one you need. Like if you poke, you know, right? Are you sure?
the sequencing is like true for Chien-Pao too. Like if you have an Irida in your hand, you can Pokestop first and then see what you get and then determine what you get off. Like what you get off Pokestop can usually affect what you get off Irida. Like if you look at it like this, like in the so if you look at it like this, so Pokestop can affect what you get off Irida, but Irida cannot affect what you get off Pokestop, right?
Yeah.
So you usually want to play it in the order where it has most effect to least effect. So it would be Pokestop into Irida because it gives you more options. Like it gives you more options to what's in your deck, and it gives you like if you drew like the rare candy, then I don't have to Irida for the rare candy anymore. I can get something else. That's probably better. So that's an important distinction to make. It's usually pretty important in Chien-Pao, not really important in Charizard because that line doesn't really come up. Because you don't play Pokestop, it only happens if your opponent has Pokestop in play. But it's something good to know and learn because Chien-Pao is like really good right now, so learning the sequencing for that is pretty important. But yeah, pretty good game. The Radzard killed him. He didn't have a response. He was out of energies.
那你的问题呀
That was pretty good. That was well
You
played.
can't use this attack.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, if your dad played Nest Ball and then just did nothing after, you can just kind of infer that he has nothing left in his deck. And you can just pass, and it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Well,
Oh, right here, I didn't notice that he was about to deck out first.
counter catcher on this guy.
You can't counter catch on even prizes.
I didn't notice that he
Your turn.
was about to deck out.
You can't counter catch on even prizes. Because they're both at one prize, you can't counter catch.
Oh, I counter catcher. See, I'm a prize.
Oh, I did.
You're
okay, I didn't
just
get
messing
caught.
with me.
Okay, so let's watch game 4, right?
Yeah. 4 was today, so it's like still pretty fresh.
So you're going first, right?
Yep.
This is part 1 of the game 4.
Yeah, you're supposed to use the vessel here because you want to thin as many cards that aren't trainers in your deck because like if you Pokestopped away 2 water energies, that'd feel really bad if you could have just vesseled them out.
You should earn your vessel before you Pokestop. Otherwise, you will have discarded the
You
energies.
can't even see it.
Two Ultra Ball,
I should've-
Rotom, Pidgeotto.
I should have popped for Charmander and Manaphy, right?
Yeah, we also don't need to be playing this Ultra Ball right now. Why are we playing this Ultra Ball?
Oh,
He said it's because I didn't. He knows I don't have an Iota.
Okay.
But
So,
No,
He's- he did-
So okay. So you have an Ultra Ball in your hand. You also should have definitely got the Manaphy because yeah, you should have got the Manaphy, but you have Ultra Ball in your hand. You could wait next. You have Rotom in your hand, so you could just Rotom first, and if you Rotom, you could just draw into the Arven because you don't really play Arven this turn. You don't really see anything you need, right? Like, there's not really anything you need. You have 3 Charmer and his Pidgey down. He does not have a Frigivax or Greninja, so you're not really threatened by anything. So I think what you should have done was just bench the Arven and then Rotomed, and then you could just draw into the Arven off the Rotom's 3 cards, and then not need to play this Ultra Ball for Luminion, right? So yeah, so Luminion is very good, but you don't need to use it every time. Like, Rotom is really good. Just draw 3 cards. Like you have this Ultra Ball in your hand, so if you drew a Rare Candy, you have Rare Candy Pidgeot, Ultra Ball for Charizard, Pidgeot for Rare Candy, right? So
He's kind
that
of
would
using he's kind of using Luminion the same way he uses Rotom when he plays Snorlax Stall. He likes to put down the Rotom, like he put down the Luminion, and then attach 4 Steel Stones. So this way he gets a trainer plus an extra card. I think that's what he's
yeah.
trying to go for.
Okay, so now this is an issue. You board lock yourself out of Manaphy.
Yeah.
So what your dad should actually do next turn is not attack and just get Pokemon down so that he can Greninja on the next turn.
That's what my dad did.
Yeah, so you literally cannot bench Manaphy. It's physically impossible. So I don't know how
Unless
to
I
deal with
collapse stadium, lost vacuum, collapse stadium,
Yeah.
and then bench Manaphy and get rid of the minion.
Mhm. Okay. I would play the Rod later. Wait, do you have Rare Candy in hand? Okay, never mind. Playing this Rod is fine. Because if you didn't have Rare Candy or Irida in your hand, then you'd want to be spinning Pokestop on the next turn. And then you can just discard the back Scalbers, you just Super Rod back in. So if you didn't have Rare Candy, I'd probably wait a turn for a Super Rod, but because you did, you can just Super Rod because you're just going to draw it. You have Rare Candy Ultra Ball in your hand. So most people would attack, but you actually pass, which is actually really good because that's actually the correct play. Pokestop.
I think my reasoning was just like I don't gain anything from that one prize. It's just
Yeah, actually, it's weird because you play Iron Hands. If you take this one prize, you can kill the Pidgeot for 3 prizes, and then just kill a Zard for 2 prizes. So you can go 1, 3, 2.
I could do.
But I think this is still good because he has to what? He has to hit the maximum belt, and
Yeah, I was really afraid of
you,
that max spell, but
but because he board locked himself out of Manaphy, this play is pretty good because you can just Greninja his guys next turn. And that's a guaranteed 2 prize. Unless he hits like Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy Zard, which is like highly unlikely. So he had a... So what do we do here? Zard.
I ended up just
Yeah, so
missing on the Iona.
let's backtrack a bit. Okay, so if we go back to this turn, so we should have Poffin for Manaphy instead of third Charmander. Okay, if you look right here, yeah, you really need to just play the Rotom first, see what you got, and then play Lumineon after to determine if you needed to use it. Lumineon is good, but you just like shouldn't be using it early game most of the time unless you really have to. Unless you really have to, then you bench Lumineon early game. But if you don't have to, then just go Rotom, draw 3 cards. If you drew an Arven, you would have been set. If you drew like a Rare Candy, you'd have been set. like it was weird. Like you had drew. This line is fine too, but you definitely should not bench this Luminion. I think just rotoming for 3 was always the correct play there because you didn't really need to Arven for anything. Like you could just draw 3 cards and see what you get next turn. And even if you whiffed everything, you have the Ultra Ball still for Luminion next turn, right?
Mhm.
Hmm. Oh my god, Kyogre. This card is so terrible. Okay, yeah. Another thing, your dad could have burned 2 nest balls. So he had 2 nest balls in his
Oh,
hand.
yeah,
He could have
yeah.
failed one of
Before
them,
I
drew
put
the
it down,
second
right?
one,
Yeah, I remember that.
and then just get out the second one. So now you can draw it off a barrel. Now your hand's pretty clogged.
Yeah.
But you did just Greninja into Ultra Ball. So you can fail the Buddy Poffin, attach the energy.
Stop.
We're playing Prime Catcher here? Wait, what happened? Okay, we should have been able to draw like 2 cards here, I think. So if we burned the other nest ball and then failed the Buddy Poffin, and then Ultra Ball the way Counter Catcher backs attaches energy, we could have drew 4 cards off a barrel. Yeah, you could have drawn 4 cards off a barrel. I would have done that. So you could have burned this nest ball, failed the Buddy Poffin, attached this energy, Ultra Ball with Counter Catcher, second back Excalibur, left your hand. Oh, you would have drawn 3. You left your hand with Prime Catcher plus Excalibur, and then you just draw 3 cards and hope you hit an Irida.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Okay. I was about to be like, do your Pokestop magically disappear? And then I forgot that Charmander had an attack that can do that. Oh, this Kyogre card is so bad. Why are people playing it? Not being able to get the maximum belt kill on this Chimpa is kind of annoying. And you really need to evolve this Charmeleon into Charizard. I don't know if you could. Let me
I could have, but I think I could have, but I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, because now he's gonna get a lot of value out of this Greninja, right? You can take 2. Yeah, you have the. It's in your hand, I think. You have an Ultra
Yeah,
Ball
it's
at
my
least.
fault. It's in my hand.
And you have it in your hand. Yeah, I think you should have evolved it because now his Greninja can take 2 prizes, and he doesn't. It's pretty bad if he does that. That's what your dad does. Okay, this is pretty easy sequencing. You have what? Superior, Ultra Ball, Rare Candy. So what you could do is Superior away the Manaphy, Sweet and Heavy Ball for the 4 energies. Attach 3 to the active. Then you can use what's it called? Radiant Greninja's ability. Draw 2 cards, then play the Ultra Ball. Keep the Superior in your hand,
Okay.
and then Barrel.
Yeah, that took me a while. Like I was like, I think I ended up doing something completely different.
Yeah, you don't really want to discard rare candy here because now you're on one rare candy left, and you can just go boss Excalibur, and you're kind of in a weird position. Yeah, you kind of need to preserve your rare candies. I don't know how this happened. Yeah, we kept the Hisuian Heavy Ball over the rare candy. It's pretty bad. You kind of need rare candy. Hold your rare candies because now your Excalibur is under huge pressure. If he just goes boss Excalibur, or even if he just uses TM Devolution, then you're under a lot of pressure still. Yeah, counter catcher. Evo. Okay, honestly, like you should be super screwed here. Okay. What Tristan should have done was, he should have. You're board locked out of Iron Hands, so if you just promoted a one prizer and devoed, you're actually in a pretty bad position. Or actually devoing with a Zard. Oh no, he should devo with a Zard right now. Yeah, if he plays two devos, so if he double devos, then you're actually like kind of like you're in a really bad position because
Oh, you have 2 devos.
if he devos with the Zard, you have to like. So if you devoed with a one prizer, you're actually fine because you can go rare candy backs, fill your entire board with energies, and you don't have to discard that many. But if he leaves the Zard and devos with the Zard in the active, you actually have to hit 6 energies, and that kind of exhausts a lot of resources, and he just goes Iono Devo again. So if he just devos twice, I think he just wins the game, actually. Or just kills the Excalibur. Yeah, rare candy, kill the backs. That works too. Excalibur, rare candy. Yeah, so if we knew we had rare candy backs, we just promote the Chimpo. Actually, wait. If you have Prime Catcher here, you definitely Prime Catcher to kill the Pidgeot and try to Iono him this turn. That's probably your goal this turn, is to probably Prime Catcher the Pidgeot, kill it, and then Iono. Because this is your last rare candy. This is your last Excalibur. Why are we doing that? What's our hand? What's the one card that you put down? What do you not want to discard off the superior? Surely it's important. Oh, it was a rare candy? Okay, then never mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that
choose
feels so
between superior or rare
bad.
candy.
Yeah, if you had, I mean, if you just promoted the Chempow, I don't know how many energies you had left, but you probably had one, and then you probably could have been able to keep one of the
Oh no, I think
superiors.
yeah, it was either 1 or none. I forget what it was, but I remember later on I kept checking and it was like 9.
Okay, well this Kyogre plays fine because you just like. I think. Oh, I didn't know you had one more rare candy. That's interesting. I think what I would have liked, like the ideal goal of that turn was Pidgeotting, power capturing, killing the Pidgeot with Chimpow while Ionoing, because you just kill the Pidgeot, he can't really draw any cards. He can't really draw Boss or Devo for the Excalibur, which is pretty bad. Okay, again, we're loading up all. I guess. Are we down like 3 superiors now? This play is good. What you're doing, your play is good because you're baiting the knockout on the Chimpow. However, if you don't have any more superiors left, this is a really bad play. But I assume you do, because I think you only played 3. You're baiting the knockout on the Chimpow because you left 3 energies on it. Because you can go Prime Catcher, kill Rotom. You can actually even Prime Catcher, kill Pidgeot if he doesn't kill the Kyogre or the Chimpow. If you're able to get one more energy on the Chimpow, then he's forced to counter catcher it. Yeah, I would have liked that. If you could have gotten one more energy on the Chimpow, he's forced to kill it,
You're
which
in
is
for
like
such
pretty
a
good
plot
for you
twist
because
here.
that leaves the best caliber.
You're in for such a plot twist here. I think
Fuck.
something completely different happens.
have
check my
collapse?
discard too.
Boss.
He's checking my SERs.
Yeah, that's 3. I'm pretty sure that's 3. He gets boss. What do you? Boss is the Chen Pao. Kills the Chen Pao. Oh, you had 4 energies on it. Yeah, so yeah, this was actually a pretty good play if you have 1 SER left in your deck. I don't know if you do though, but I hope you do.
I think I was
It's
out.
not on your prize. Oh,
Wait, no, I wasn't out. I wasn't out.
you should have 1. Based on like what I saw, you should have 1. Nest Ball, Iron Hands.
And I'm trying to. Oh, you should play the sound here. I think we explained what's going on here.
I was thinking about doing a 2-move attack. I was thinking of doing 180 to him and then finishing off with this guy to force 1 prizers. But instead, I'm going to use Iron Hands to kill the Pidgeot. And detach.
Right, but that doesn't do enough damage.
No, it has weakness.
You only do 240.
You can use the other attack.
Yeah.
Don't you?
You can't use
Yeah,
the other attack
other
because
than
you
one
only it
electric
has 2
energy.
light.
Oh,
It's okay. I would have
Oh,
tricked him
yeah.
into killing it. He wouldn't have known.
What's going on? What the hell did this happen?
just keep
I
watching.
thought I
it.
did
Just
300
keep
damage or
watching.
something.
Keep watching it.
It didn't matter. I thought I needed.
You had a Chen Pao in your deck, you didn't Nest Ball for it?
Are you freaking serious?
From now on, it's just
I
chaos.
surrender.
Wait. You could have. Wait, did you put barrel yet?
Not yet. Just keep playing
I
it.
didn't the barrel because it was.
No, I wouldn't have this time.
I
I'm
was
so
afraid of.
confused.
Just keep playing it.
It's okay. I need a Greninja into the Prime Catcher.
I'm good at
and
rig shuffling.
No, and a Super Rod.
Watch this.
But this was if Iron
Yeah,
Hands did
if.
140 damage.
I'm good at rig shuffling.
Can you show me? No, can you show me when?
Wait. You had game on board. This is crazy.
Yes.
You just got the Chen Pao. I think you got the Chen Pao. I think it's guaranteed that you draw this
yeah.
Prime Catcher to kill the Rotom.
Wait, Chien-Pao only needs
Wait,
one.
why do
How
you
many
need
water
one?
energies does Chien-Pao need to do the attack?
2.
And you 2, and you had 4 in your. You had 3 in your hand
my
and 1
god!
on the out.
So I could have used the Chien-Pao instead of using the Pidgeot.
This is just chaos.
Yeah, so you have
So
3 in your
same thing,
hand.
but without Iron Hands, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, no, what you should have done was Nestballed for the Chen Pao, attach all of the energies, or attach 2 of the energies there and attach 1 to Greninja, draw the 5 cards off the barrel, then use Pokestop, and then I'm pretty sure it's like near guaranteed, unless the very last card in your deck is Prime Catcher, which I think is like really low. I think you have 9 cards left in your deck, so I think it's literally like you have to. The Prime Catcher has to be the bottom card of your deck for you to
I'm
lose.
so good at
Actually, no, you have Gyarados
shuffling.
too. It'd have to be. It's like I think literally less than 1% that you miss if you just bet on this ball for the Chen Pao.
Alright. Let's go. 5 out of
Big
8
the
chance
shuffle.
to win their game. Ready?
Okay, wait. If you had 8, you just guaranteed it. If it was 8, then it was just guaranteed. I thought it was 9. Because you go.
And you also have to.
Oh wait, no, I already used Pokestop.
2.
Okay, yeah. So no, it would have been 11. Okay, it would have been like slightly. No, it would have still been like less sub 1%.
A 4. What?
Watch this. It's at the bottom.
What do you mean?
It's at the bottom.
You're a rigger, Tristan.
It was at
It
the
was
bottom.
It didn't matter.
Oh.
Iron Hands couldn't even kill it anyway.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for
was-
distracting the
Yeah, I want to Super Rod for 2, right?
focus,
No,
the
no,
focal
no.
point of
I know.
this Tristan.
No, I don't care about that.
No, Tristan played pretty well, like relatively. Like there was like a few minor mistakes, like he's like using Luminian incorrectly, and like he should be just using Rotom. But like he was able to he should have got the Manaphy off the turn 1 often. But he's like, and like small sequencing issues like the last game where he should Pokestop before the Arvin. but he's like playing like he knows the lines. Like he's doing pretty well. Like this last turn. Wait, what happened this last turn again?
One.
Yeah, so like Tristan's like playing pretty well. Like he's getting his board set up. He's sequencing mostly correctly. Besides some minor things like the poke. Like again, the Pokestop is like super negligible at the end of the day, but it's something that he should learn. It's just a lot of percentages, but he's like killing the right things, and he's like getting the right things. It's just like he should be like. I think the big thing is he's using Luminion incorrectly, but he actually is like playing Zard relatively correctly. Like I really didn't have much to say about the Zard math. Like because Zard is very linear, right? Like you get your Pidgeot, you get your Charizard, and you just start attacking. Like there's not too many super complicated decisions that you have to make as Zard.
It's not like
Because 90% of the time, what you're doing, yeah, your Tina has so many things. Like Zard, like 90% of the time, you're using quick search and grabbing boss and killing something.
Uh-huh.
So like he's like getting his board set up, but it's just like some super minor stuff. Like the Luminion is like you shouldn't be using Luminion like this. Getting the mana fee down is important because you board lock yourself out of it. Like this one turn where you didn't evolve your Charmeleon into Charizard and you Greninja'd it. It's like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to do that. And then it's super weird because Zard is like not that hard of a deck to play in a sense that your decisions are relatively easy. Chien-Pao, like your decisions are super hard. Like sometimes, like you don't really know. Like sometimes, like because I played it to the last regionals I went to. Like sometimes you'd have 10-card hands and you have to figure out how you get to 0. And like it's like super
It's like
complicated.
a puzzle.
It is like a puzzle. It's like a hand puzzle. It's very interesting. It's very fun. That's why I like playing the deck. I don't know if I'll play it to Vancouver, but I played it to Knoxville and it was pretty good. But yeah, relatively speaking, there's only a few minor mistakes that Tristan made, like from these games that I watched. It's just I think he just is like too tunnel vision on using Luminion. Like it's a good card, but I don't. It's like one of those cards where it should be like if it's in the early turn, it should be like used only if necessary. Like if your hand is dead and you need to get Arven or like a supporter, then you use it. But because your hand was Pidgeot, it was like your opening hand, like at the end of the turn, was like. Oh wait, it was. I have to go back to the next game.
I won.
Yeah, so like your hand would have. So your hand would have. You had Pidgeot, Radzard, Ultra Ball, Mist Energy, Rotom. So you could have ended your turn with 7 cards in your hand. If you drew a rare candy in those cards, then you could rare candy Pidgeot, Ultra Ball for Charizard, rare candy for Charizard. Or if you missed, you still have the ability to Ultra Ball for Luminion on your next turn, right? You didn't have to do it this turn. Yeah, but other than that, pretty well played on Tristan's side. Your dad needs a bit more work on the Chien-Pao matchup. But that's okay. The deck is really hard. Like a lot of people like think it's like really like Helmet and it's very easy to play because like you just do big damage. But like it's actually pretty complicated if you like really play it.
Yeah, just like the discarding stuff and then like balancing what you want in your hand and what you want in your discard and what you want in your deck.
Yeah, it's like super resource heavy. Like you have to know how to manage your resources very correctly.
It's like Jersey.
And it's like really hard. That's why
It's different.
Like I'm expecting a lot of people to play this deck to the European International Championships and not do well because it's pretty hard to play.
Is the European one, is it after rotation or before?
It's after rotation,
Okay.
so like all these cards are legal.
So one thing I noticed, like we were looking at the Pokeka Books website, is that there's a much higher like amount of people playing Charizard with Bibarel. And the reasoning explained was that it's because it's good into the mirror matchup. Like again, it's good against the Pidgey. Apparently, I don't really know why, and but like
It's probably because you can't Devo the Pidge. You can't Devo Barbaro.
yeah, and
Well,
also
you
it's
can
one
Devo
prize.
Barbaro, but like, yeah. I disagree with that because Pidge, like, you have a lot of one of cards in your deck. Like this, like if you play the Barbaro, how are you ever drawing like Mist Energy, Counter Catcher, like Radiant Charizard and Energy? Like you're
Specific
more.
cards.
It's like bad. It's like in theory, like it would be nice to have a Barbaro, but you're like also you're one of those decks like where you don't really have a lot of burnable cards, right? Like if you like looked at a lot of Tristan's hand, it was like filled with supporters, tool cards, and like random items that weren't really burnable. So that's a really big issue for the Zard Barbaro deck is they can't get their hand low enough to use Barbaro effectively.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
Because like it's not like Champow where they play like 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Superior, ways to
it's
discard their
hard
hand
to
really
draw
easily.
because your hand is big, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, your hand will not necessarily will always be big, but you don't really have cards that you can just play like freely to discard your hand. Like like you don't want to just like throw down TM Devo randomly and try to draw more cards with barrel. Or you don't really want to like if you have like a bunch of Pokemon in your hand or supporters, like
Hmm.
you don't play enough items that allows you to enable the barrel enough. And you play too many ones. Like there's too many times where it's too important to find boss in the turn. And if you don't have quick search for boss, it's like really bad. So you have to like try to draw it off with barrel, which feels really off.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Pidgeot version is like way superior, and I think most of the Western players have already realized that because Barbaro Zard was played at the Latin American International Champions, and past that, no one played it
Mm-hmm.
because people realized that Pidgey was just better.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'd still play the Pidgey version. I think Tristan's list is pretty good. I like the 2D TM Devolution for the mirror. The only thing is that I would maybe consider playing Toad School for the Chien-Pao matchup.
So what would you put in instead of? It's Toad School EX, right?
No, the Toad Scroll from
What
Paradox
one?
because it's the Paradox one says your opponent can't put cards from their discard into their hand, so they can't play SER.
Okay. Is it the 1/1 line? Like just one
Yeah,
for each?
I would cut like what would I cut? I would cut maybe a Fire Energy because you like the most list plays 6 Fire Energy, 2 Super Rod. So you can cut like Fire Energy and maybe like TM Devo or something else. I'd have to look into it a bit more deeply.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, this list is pretty good. The changes I told you to make, like you want to play 4 Arbin. Like I don't know why this list doesn't play 4 Arbin. You have to play 4 Arbin.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, relatively good. Like the Chien-Pao, I told you the fixes for the Chien-Pao list pretty standard. But other than that, the list looks pretty good. And Tristan played well today, so I think another matchup you should try out. Another deck that's getting really popular is Arctina. Apparently, that has like really high meta shares in Japan right now.
Yeah, Arctina, and I think it looks something like this right here. Let me see how to share my screen here. But yeah, it's Arctina with Bibarel, and then they use like the belt for the 330 damage, pretty much.
Yeah, and they play like one of the Iron Leaves, I think, for Charizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Iron Leaves. So yeah, that's that I think. And then also, what do you how is the have you looked into the new Roaring Moon, like the baby Roaring Moon one? Like is that like a good matchup into the Charizard, or is that like
I can't imagine that deck being too good because your damage output is super like low early.
yeah, you
Like I
need
don't
to like
see.
build up your discard like
Yeah,
rapid.
you can't really kill like with the baby Roaring Moon. I don't see any way you ever kill like something with 280 plus HP. It's like really hard. Like as opposed to normal Roaring Moon, just like one shotting with its attack. I don't really know. I have to do more looking into it. But like right now, what I've seen from like the meta share in Japan is that it's Charizard, Chien-Pao, and Arctina are doing really well.
Uh-huh. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, this this.
Yeah. I'll look into it a bit more for next week's class. But yeah, I like the setup where you're like the VOD reviews. I think it's pretty more effective.
Mhm.
I think if you have the ability, build a few more decks from the meta and then have them try a few of them out.
Yep.
I think it's important in a new meta just to try as many decks as possible. See if you like, because there's so much new stuff. See if you like anything new. See if you maybe old decks get better. new decks get worse. Try to figure out like what you really feel about the format and just feel it out and see what you really want to play. But he's doing really well with Zard, so I'd probably say stick with that. But I think it's still good to try some other stuff out too.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Happy.
Sorry, sorry, we cut.